What's up, internet? My name's Ori. Welcome back to the channel. It is Saturday, August 10th, day number 26 inside the Big Brother house. Nominations were yesterday. How did Quinn's power of the deep fake HOH play out? Plus, are Kimo and T'Kor about to flip the house? Let's go over all the intel, drama, and more from yesterday's feeds. But first, if you are new here, hit that subscribe button. You like this video, hit that like button, hit that notification bell. You'll never miss a video. You'll never miss a stream. Yesterday, we had a great live stream update every Friday morning. We do them live. We also have live watch parties for every Thursday's live eviction episode. So make sure you're coming and checking those out as well. If you missed any of that, just a little bit of a recap to get you caught up with everything that's happened since eviction. It was a wild week where alliances, powers, dirt that people had was all exposed throughout the house. Angela ends up winning HOH following eviction, but everybody knows that Quinn has his power, so really she just has safety for the week. His target is Tucker. Other possible noms that he mentioned were MJ, Rubina. Cedric also had put his name down as a possible pawn that he would be willing to go up with. So let's see how yesterday brought the house guests just all the chaos from Quinn taking the power, right? This should cause a lot of drama and fun. Let's see how that all might change. Well, Quinn held one-on-ones. We talked about during the live stream how he was gonna be wearing a suit. I thought maybe he was gonna go with like the nerdy one, but it was like this like maroon suit. He looked like some weird game show host or something like that. And not too much really came from it though, right? We already knew who his target was and how he was gonna kind of go about this. The main thing was that we did kind of learn is when he talked to MJ about putting her up, he mentioned that he gets to vote, and I don't know if that means in the event of a tie. I don't know if that means that he's still voting no matter what. I'm not 100% sure how that's all going to work. But he promised to MJ that if she ends up on the block at the vote, that he wouldn't vote her out. So again, I don't know if that meant necessarily a tie. I don't know if that meant he's still voting as well. But we'll see. There was also a lot of confusion on whether or not Quinn got to name a replacement nominee after Veto, because we talked about how Rubina could potentially be someone that he would want to put up there because he wouldn't want to have her taking Tucker down and have to name a replacement. That's why Cedric was kind of volunteering, and then they could put Rubina up as the replacement, which is what he ended up telling people because he had to go lock in his nominations in the diary room. Then they had to go make the AI Angela to announce them. But his nominations were Cedric, MJ, and Tucker. That's what he ended up going with Rubina as that replacement. But again, like I said, there was confusion on whether or not he even got to name that replacement. Tucker and Angela, they both assumed no, that Angela would still be the one to name their replacement. And they actually thought the Quinn was lying. This caused some drama and some fights that we didn't really get to see. We saw a little bit of Angela like finding out afterwards and talking to Quinn, and she's like, "Wait, so you knew the whole time this is how it works?" He's like, "Yeah, yeah, I explained all that," and she just was stunned. She was it was like the news was just flabbergasting to her. She could not believe that she did not still have any power at all. She was like, "No, this can't be." Tucker also thought Quinn was full on lying and saying that he could name the replacement when he couldn't. And this ended up being kind of a little spat between them. We got like a little snippet of it, but we weren't able to see the whole thing. And then at the end, they both kind of walk away from each other, like talking trash under their breath. But as far as we know, yeah, Quinn gets like it's basically Quinn is the HOH this week. He gets everything that the HOH gets to do. It's just that Angela technically won, right? So he gets to take over. He's using an AI Angela. Eventually, we didn't get to see it, but the house guests were shown the Angela AI, and man, they talk about how cool it would have been if they didn't know. And it's like, yeah, it would have been really cool, right? It would have been really cool if it was a shock. If only it was a rule that you couldn't tell people, man, that would have been great. That would have been great because that would have been fun. But the nominations were what Quinn said. Cedric, MJ, and Tucker went up as his nominees. There was talk about afterwards about, veto picks and stuff like that. Tucker actually talked about. Tucker said if he ends up getting house guest choice, he would pick Quinn. Give the people what they want. He also said that if they ended up doing the competition with prizes, he would end up going for prizes instead of that. Basically, he just wants to compete in the AI if given the chance. I think that's that's his main goal. Cedric also kind of toyed around with the idea of not using the veto on himself, which is like, I'm just you're volunteering to go on the block. Stop it. Stop. Two, yeah, you're talking about not using the veto on yourself. It's like, I want to love you, Cedric. I want to love you, but just stop doing this stuff. I don't know why they have to do it. There's also a plan. There's also a plan to get into Tucker's head if for some reason he is still on the block, or if some reason he is going into AI arena and it ends up with Tucker and Rubina on the block together, that they want to get into Tucker's head by saying, listen, if she's up on the block, she's going to be gone, right? Like if Tucker wins AI arena, that's goodbye Rubina. So that could potentially be a thing, right? Like if Rubina and MJ ended up on the block, let's say Cedric comes down, Rubina goes up as a replacement, Tucker wins AI arena, they would then make Tucker think MJ would stay and Rubina would go, which hopefully would get Tucker to throw it. And then we would end up with Tucker and MJ on the block, and then they could vote out Tucker. Yeah, that is a plan. And I actually think, you know what, it's kind of a little dirty, but I love it. I love the idea, right? It's playing dirty, but I love when people play dirty. So if they go through with that ends up being the situation, I'm kind of down. Now, the other thing, TK and Kimo, ooh, they're infuriating me a little bit because they are in such a good spot. And it feels like, just like all the others this season who have been in a good spot like they are, it feels like they're going to blow it here soon. Basically, if MJ isn't an option for them to vote out, they're a little bit screwed. They've been working with pretty much all the sides, right? If it ends up being Tucker versus Cedric, either way, right? If they go with Cedric, they're going to lose Rubina. If they go with Tucker, then they're going against the collective. So that's a rough spot for them to be in. If it's Cedric versus Rubina, well, then if they go against Cedric, again, they're going against the collective. If they vote out Rubina, they then have a wild Tucker who's still in the house, right? If it ends up being Rubina and Tucker, well, then they're losing an ally either way on a side that they want to have numbers with. So that's kind of a less bad option, but still. And same thing, right? Like if they just need to have MJ be an option. If MJ isn't an option for them to vote out, they're in trouble. And I could see them being almost to a point where it's like they want to keep Tucker so bad they could end up ruining everything they have right now. Because at the moment, they would absolutely love if they could get like Leah up as the potential replacement nominee. They're trying to get some dirt on her with Quinn, seeing if maybe they can get Quinn to put her up on the block. I don't think that's really going to happen. Quinn does still have that crush on Leah, but they are trying to get as much info from her as they can. T'Kor spent a lot of time with her in the hammock, kind of talking about stuff. So we'll see if they're able to do that. But the thing is, they feel like they are on the bottom of the collective, and they want to be able to keep, Tucker and Rubina as options. And while, yes, it would be great if they can do that for their game, I don't think it's worth risking what they have now, because I don't think they're necessarily on the bottom. Let's go look at our allegiance chart for the week. I made a few little adjustments for the day, not too much different, but I feel like this gives a pretty good picture of where we're at right now. And a couple of things, right? First off, the sides, you got Tucker versus Quinn, kind of is the scenario we're looking at here. You got Tucker all the way over there, Angela all over there as well. Both of them very far down on the social credit scores as well. They're kind of real low down there. Rubina over on that side, but still, again, she's got such a good connection with Kimo and T'Kor that, they kind of all kind of work together there. Mackenzie real low down there. Leah is kind of over and towards the middle as well. She's got the connections with Cam and Quinn. Even a little bit of the thing going now with Kimo and T'Kor, just trying to get dirt on her really more than anything else. But just by doing this, they're building that bond, and it's still giving them the credit where I don't think if any of these people towards the bottom of the map, if any of them were in a position of power, they're not coming after them, right? Kimo and T'Kor will just slide on through in that situation. All these people down here are all going to be going for the people towards the other side. Brooklyn, Chelsea, Cedric, Cam, Joseph, Quinn. Those are the people they would end up going after. Meanwhile, over on that side of the house, right, where you have the Pentagon and Joseph in there with the collective, they're kind of the swing votes in that scenario as well. They've got a little bit of a thing going with Joseph because here's the thing with Joseph. He's full on committed to the collective, but outside of that, he's got kind of a thing going on with Quinn, though he's been talking some trash about Quinn to others to hopefully, I guess, give him a little bit of an edge. And I think it's worked in this situation. I feel like Quinn has found himself in the bottom of the collective. Quinn's the one who is the bottom. Here's the thing, though. Quinn has a really good relationship with Kimo and T'Kor, so they can then work with that to go after the rest of the Pentagon. They also have a pretty good connection with Brooklyn. The problem is they keep trying to do things where they're trying to pull Brooklyn and Chelsea over together and then adding in people like Tucker and Rubina, but they can't do that because they're also in the Pentagon. And the problem is they're making mistakes, but it's not like the mistakes where it's like, oh, well, how could they ever know? They know about the Pentagon. Quinn has told them all the information they need. And one of my things is with these two, Kimo and T'Kor, it's just they make up these plans. They have all this info, and then they do nothing with it. Absolutely nothing with it. And when they do stuff, it feels like it's going to be things that's going to end up hurting them in the long run. Because like I said, right now, they have found themselves in almost the perfect spot where they're the full-on swing vote. They can go with Tucker, Rubina, and kind of work with that side of the house. They can go with Quinn and work with him. They can go with Brooklyn if she wants to kind of do something. Brooklyn, they also know from Quinn, thinks she's at the bottom of the Pentagon. All it takes for them is to go, hey, Brooklyn, we know that you're at the bottom of the Pentagon. And Brooklyn's going to go, wait a minute, what are you talking about, right? Like she will then be like, how do you even know about that? You can bring her on over. Tell her Chelsea told you. tell him Cam told you. Be like, listen, Cam let it slip. He said, yeah, there was this 5-person alliance called the Pentagon, and we know that it's going to end up being you and Quinn who are at the bottom of that. Why don't you come on over with us? There's things they can do. They're just doing it in the wrong way. T'Kor also has this weird trust in Chelsea that I think is kind of a blind spot for her in the game. I just don't think she realizes that Chelsea is also doing a lot of stuff. Now, I don't, it's tough, right? Because I just don't see any scenario where anyone on that side of the house would go for Kimo and T'Kor before they would go for Quinn, before they would go for Joseph. With them, I don't think Joseph or Quinn would go for Kimo and T'Kor before they would go for Cam, before they would go for Cedric, before they would go for Chelsea, even Brooklyn, right? Like all of these people would go after each other before they would go after Kimo and T'Kor. So they think they're at the bottom of it when really they're the ones that are in the swing vote in the best position in all of these alliances. And I'm worried that they're going to do something here to blow it up soon, right? If they just stay the course, again, if they can keep Tucker and Rubina, fantastic. Don't throw away what you have right now, though, because if they go too hard with this and they try and push that too much, they then will become people that go, oh, yeah, well, you know what? Let's throw them up on the block together and just get rid of them because we can't trust them and they'll be the ones to crack us. I don't know. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how this all goes. I wish we would have had the full surprise of the power. If people didn't realize it was coming, it would have been a lot more fun. Seems like Quinn's going to try and have fun with it, though, doing different jokes and stuff like that using the Angela AI. I'm interested to see what that looks like as well. I feel like of all the people it could have been, Angela is the best person to have be the AI. I feel like that's going to be a lot of fun. But definitely let me know what you guys are thinking of all the things going on right now. What do you think of the nominations? What do you think of the plan to potentially maybe put Rubina up as a replacement nominee? Are you thinking that Kimo and T'Kor need to stick with what they've got right now, or should they really make a hard push to make sure Tucker stays? Let me know what you guys are thinking in the comments down below. Thank you guys all again so much for watching. If you are new here, hit that subscribe button. You like this video, hit that like button, hit that notification bell. You'll never miss a video. You'll never miss a stream. Check out all the links to my socials in the pinned comment description down below. Check out things like the Twitch, Kick. I haven't been streaming there much lately, but Big Brother takes a lot of time. But you can also check out my Twitter and Discord. I know a lot of people were having issues with YouTube, like unsubbing them and not giving them notifications. So you can always find out when things are going on Twitch and Discord as well. Plus lots of other cool combos going on there, not just with the Big Brother live feeds and just the episodes, but you could chat about sports, post picture of your pets in there, all kinds of good stuff. Thank you guys again so much for watching. We are on our way to 15K, and I just really cannot thank you guys enough for all the love and support you show me here on the channel, and I will see you next time.
Wait for it, bitch. I wonder if they please have a reel of it every time.